In today's video, this is what I used to look like on the daily. Now, this is what I look like every single day. And I want to talk about the fact that there's not just one way to get there. I want to talk about a diet strategy that you might not be familiar with, but it's worked wonders for me. And I got a great question on my Instagram direct message from someone, so I want to address that. We're starting right now. Hey guys, what's going on? This is Paul Ravella from ProPhysique.com. I'm a 49-year-old lifetime natural bodybuilder who's been helping people reach their fat loss goals for about 15 years now. And there's a lot of things that I've learned along the way. And today's question is in regards to how do we lose body fat and how do we keep it off? And I think we all understand that to lose body fat at this point, there needs to be a change in our lives, whether it's a change to our nutrition, a change to our lifestyle, a change to our daily routine. But when we think of losing body fat, most of us cringe and we think,
oh man, I gotta eat nothing but chicken and broccoli. I gotta be eating stuff I don't like for long periods of time. I gotta be doing grueling cardio sessions. I gotta go run a 5K or a marathon.
I think a lot of us have that assumption, and even myself had that assumption early on in my life, because while I really was active and I thought I ate well, I was never able to actually maintain the physique that I was happy with. And I'm finally able to do that. So I've learned some things. So here's the question. Hey coach, I got a question for you that I don't think you've covered. I'm currently going through a main gaining phase, and during the week I'm in a deficit, and on the weekend I have family. And it begs the question, is having a severe deficit during the week okay if you end up having calories higher on the weekend? So this is actually a strategy that I use as a coach. I call it banking calories, because early in the week, you're banking those extra calories so that you have them for an event. You mentioned the weekend, which is fine. I think, you know, back when I had a regular office job, it was a lot easier for me to eat very light during the week. And on the weekends, I wanted to be social and be out with my friends. And because I wasn't occupied with work, my mind was more focused on food. So I think there's a very natural kind of approach there where you are a little bit more conservative during the week and a little bit more, you know, you eat a few extra calories on the weekend. So when I think of fat loss and we think of the term caloric deficit, I don't think of that every single day needs to be the same. I think that there are benefits to actually what you're talking about. And for that reason, I use an approach called flexible dieting with my clients, with myself. And the flexible nature of dieting doesn't just come down to the food selection, because if you've heard my philosophy on nutrition, there are no bad foods. And what do I mean by there are no bad foods? Well, there just are no foods that are bad for your goals. Now, if you have an allergy or if you are an illness and a food is going to cause a problem for you, then yeah, but food is just energy that we consume. Different types of foods have different types of benefits, from proteins and carbs and fats and minerals and vitamins and those kind of things. But when I think of how I want to lose body fat, I just think of creating a caloric deficit. So the flexible nature of nutrition for me is that if I want to eat French fries or if I want to eat broccoli, I can do that. It's just got to fit my caloric goals and that I've set up for the day. However, what a lot of people think of is like, okay, I'm on a 1,500 calorie diet. That's every day. But for me, flexible dieting means, okay, maybe some days you're on 1,300 calories and other days you're on 1,700 calories. And if it averages out the same over 7 weeks, we're going to get the same result. Okay. And this is what you're talking about. So absolutely. The idea of banking calories for me is what's allowed me to maintain a physique that's at or near 10% body fat with very low effort, because there are certainly days where I'm going to go eat a little bit extra. My friends want to go out. We're going to have a drink. We're going to eat some pizza. I'm going to have some wings. I'm going to watch some football, whatever it might be. But when I get back to it the next day, hey, I'm eating my same breakfast that I eat every day. I'm eating my same lunch and my same dinner that I eat every day. And I'm, you know, getting up and going for a walk, and I'm staying active so that I'm balancing out both sides of the equation. I've had an extreme approach in the past. I'll put some pictures or videos on the screen here where you can see me where I was well below 10% body fat, probably at or below 5% body fat, and winning bodybuilding competitions. Now, when you get that extreme, there is a pendulum swing that goes the other direction. But what I'm finding is that we each have our own kind of sweet spot where we can maintain a physique that we're very proud of. The effort is in getting down to that body fat percentage and then learning how to maintain that. So if you've found a way that you can adjust, it's all about the data. Are you paying attention to your calories and just overeating on the weekend? The danger is if you're not being accountable, if let's say you're doing like 1,600 calories and then on the weekends you're doing 3,500 calories, you could eat yourself out of that deficit or that maintenance phase and start putting on body fat just from 1 or 2 days a week of overeating, even if you're being really conservative on those other 5 days. So I still feel like it's important that you're accountable. And if you don't know how to be accountable and you don't know where to start, I have a free calculator. I'll put the link below. I'll put it on the screen here so you can see. You put in some information that's going to give you some macros to start with. And then based on your goal, it'll give you an idea of how you can set up your macros per meal, an idea for meal plans. And if you're been struggling and you're not having success on your own, you can reach out to me directly for coaching. I'll put a link below. But we also have our next transformation challenge, a 90-day challenge starting in about a month, maybe 6 weeks. And there we provide you with all the plans you need. We provide you with a private support group. You can go at your own or you can get a coach. But the idea is that you've got a support group and you've got a deadline, so you know what to do. You've got your accountability, and you'll see some of these. Look at this. Look at these on the screen here, right? These are 90-day transformations that have just blown me away. We've consistently seen this every single time we've run these challenges. So if that's what you're looking for, and a lot of people, when they come to me and they say, Coach, I'm not having a lot of success or I'm stuck, it comes down to that deadline. Like, what is your actual Northern Star? What are you working towards? If that isn't important to you enough to be accountable and make some changes, you're not going to get there. So yeah, hope you guys are having a great day. Hopefully this answers questions. And yeah, you don't got to be perfect every day to make progress. You can be flexible. Talk to you guys tomorrow.